The topic which we will discuss today is somatic embryogenesis. Now, embryogenesis means development of embryo. Let us talk about development of embryo first. Let us talk about this word first. Embryogenesis, that is, how does the embryo develop? Okay. Now, when we look at traditional embryogenesis, then what you need is you need a male plant, alright, you need a female plant, okay. The male plant, it can be in the form of microspores, okay. These are the reproductive unit and represented by this n number of chromosomes. When we talk about the female plant, we are talking about the egg, alright, and they are again represented by this n number of chromosomes, okay. Now when this male plant and the female plant are crossed, okay, that is when the microspore, alright, and the egg fuses, okay, we get a product. And that product is known as what? That product is known as a zygote. Okay. And this process is known as what? This process is known as fertilization. Fusion of the male and the female gamete, that is known as fertilization. And as a result of fertilization, we get a product, and that product is known as a zygote. Okay, now this zygote will have the n number of chromosome that is carried by the male plant, as well as the n number of chromosome that is being carried by the female plant. Okay, half of it will be given to this zygote. Half of this n will also be given to this zygote. So your zygote is always represented by twice n, which means it receives the genetic information of both the father as well as the mother. Now this is fertilization. What will happen to the zygote? The zygote after some time, for example, this is the zygote, okay? After some time it will secrete a tough wall around itself, okay? Now what will the wall do? This wall, it will function as a nutritive tissue. It will supply food to this zygote, okay? And this tissue, nutritive tissue, is always known as the nucellus. Then what happened to the zygote? The zygote will increase in size and it will give rise to what is known as the embryo. Alright, this embryo has all the genetic information to give rise to a new plant. Okay, now this process from here up to here, alright, it is still fertilization. Let us look from this point onward, embryo. Now this embryo, okay, it undergoes through several stages. First, we say the embryo is globular shape. It is round in shape, okay. Embryo is round in shape, globular embryo. Then this embryo will undergo another shape, alright, another stage rather, and this is called the heart-shaped embryo. Then it will give rise, it will go through another stage, and that stage is known as the torpedo stage. Okay, so these three, globular, heart-shaped embryo and the torpedo embryo, the different stages, these are the different stages of embryo development. So we are talking now of development of embryo. Okay, embryo, it arises from the zygote, and before it becomes a fully fledged plant, before it will give rise to the seed, it will go through these 3 stages: globular stage, the heart-shaped stage, and the torpedo stage. At this stage, you can see that this is actually a bipolar structure. It is a bipolar structure. Okay, it has this structure here, okay, at one end. Now this structure here is called the radicle, and this structure will give rise to the root system. Okay, and this another point at the extreme and opposite to this radicle is known as what? It is known as the plumule, and it will give rise to the entire shoot system. So this structure here is a bipolar structure. This structure, it has all the information to give rise to a complete plant which has a proper shoot system as well as a complete root system. So this is a bipolar structure. Okay, now this plant, all this is stored in the seed. Okay, it is stored in the seed. So if this is a seed, this will be the seed coat. Okay, there will be 2 or 3 layers of seed coat, and this will be your embryo inside, your torpedo stage embryo, which has the genetic information to form the shoot system as well as the root system. So this is your seed. Okay, so this is how traditional embryogenesis takes place.